The movie recap starts off with a quick welcome back, but instead of diving in gently, the film throws us straight into chaos. At a quiet neighborhood school, everything suddenly goes sideways when a crew of armed criminals storms inside. Kids are grabbed as hostages, teachers panic, and the whole town feels like it's holding its breath. With the situation getting worse by the second, Chief Ultimatum is pushed into a corner. The mayor adds even more weight on his shoulders, basically telling him that if this rescue fails, his job is gone. No second chances. Captain Mason, who's in charge of the special ops team set to handle this nightmare, quickly notices something crucial. Every single way into the building is locked down tight. There's no sneaking around or negotiating their way in. With the clock ticking, Mason asks for permission to blow the doors open. After a tense moment, Ultimatum gives in and authorizes explosives. That decision marks the beginning of the entire disaster. Connor and Timmy, two brothers who have been through countless missions together, get ready for what they expect to be another tough but manageable rescue. As soon as the explosive breach happens, the team pours inside with military-level precision. At first, things go surprisingly well. A number of trapped students are evacuated, and it starts to look like the situation is finally turning around, until everything detonates again in the worst way possible. A sudden explosion sends thick smoke across the halls. It's impossible to see more than a few feet ahead. In that haze and chaos, Timmy accidentally fires his weapon and hits a hostage. That single mistake completely changes the mission's direction, the team's morale, and the brothers' relationship. Inside the school, things get even more violent. One gang member holds terrified kids at gunpoint, ready to pull the trigger the moment he feels threatened. Connor freezes, not because he's scared, but because he knows one wrong move could kill more innocents. But then something unexpected happens. Another gangster, panicking and stumbling backward, steps on a hidden landmine. The explosion blows a huge chunk of the building apart and hurls Connor outside. That moment becomes one of the darkest chapters in their careers. Fast forward a year and a half. Connor has left the special forces behind and now works as a regular cop, trying to rebuild a normal life. During a routine task, he's told to escort a teenager named Wherein, who's gotten himself into trouble. But before they even reach safety, gang members show up. Wherein tries to run, Connor tries to protect him, and everything spirals into violence when Connor is forced to shoot an attacker. He warns Wherein to escape before things get worse. And he's right, because the notorious gang boss Pettis arrives shortly afterward. Pettis doesn't react with rage the way most gang leaders do. Instead, he chooses a quieter, smarter kind of revenge. Back at the station, Connor is grilled by officers who don't fully trust his version of events. He insists he fired only because Wherein life was in danger, but the people questioning him keep giving him looks that suggest they think he's hiding something. Their doubts start looking more like suspicion when Wherein is found dead not long after, killed under Pettis' orders. This is only the first step in Pettis' plan to destroy Connor. Blame falls directly on Connor. His explanations are ignored, rumors fly, and soon he's fired from the police force entirely. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, Chief Ultimatum is meeting with Pettis like they're business partners. Pettis wants police protection for his massive drug network, and in return he'll use his influence in the community to get Ultimatum elected. Pettis isn't just some street-level thug. He's a well-known figure with money, power, and control over a huge part of the city. For Ultimatum, teaming up with him could be the key to winning political power. For Connor, Pettis becomes the source of every nightmare. Things take another dark turn when Pettis approaches Connor directly, demanding payment for the gang member Connor killed. Connor refuses. He wants nothing to do with criminals. But just when he thinks he can walk away, his wife Candace tells him she's pregnant. For a moment, everything shifts. Connor decides he's going to fix his life, be the best father he can, and give Candace the security she deserves. But Pettis doesn't care about Connor's dreams. While Connor's out shopping for baby supplies, Big O, one of Pettis' most dangerous enforcers, ambushes him. Connor is knocked unconscious, handcuffed, and dragged into another nightmare. Pettis has lost his patience. He kidnaps Candace and gives Connor an ultimatum: steal a pile of cash and destroy illegal products belonging to one of Pettis' rival groups. If Connor refuses or fails, Candace dies. With no other choice, Connor agrees. But he knows he can't do this mission alone. His mind goes straight to Timmy, the one person who understands high-risk operations better than anyone. When Connor gets to Timmy's place, his brother refuses to open the door. Their relationship was shattered by the school mission, and the pain still sits between them like a wall. They argue, they fight, and only when Connor is physically exhausted does Timmy finally let him inside. Opening old wounds is messy, but Connor explains everything. Pettis, Candace, the impossible mission, and slowly Timmy begins to understand the gravity of the situation. Elsewhere, Chief Alustin hosts a press conference to defend himself against swirling rumors about his connections to drug gangs. Reporters bombard him with questions. Citizens demand answers. And Mason, their old captain, shows up with the intention of catching Alustin off guard. Mason fires off subtle but dangerous accusations, suggesting Alustin might actually be working with the criminals he claims to be fighting. Alustin stays calm, denies everything, and acts like a dedicated leader. His performance is convincing enough to sway public opinion. For the moment, he's safe. Back at Timmy's place, Connor and Timmy barely finish processing their emotional baggage when a knock sounds at the door. Mason steps in, and the entire energy of the room shifts. This is the man who led them through countless missions. Connor wastes no time laying out every detail. Candace's kidnapping, Pettis' threats, the mission they're being forced into. The moment Mason hears it, he decides he's in. No hesitation. He starts contacting their old teammates, Dwayne, Ship, and others who used to be part of their elite squad. Even though they've all built new lives, there's still a sense of loyalty and unfinished business connecting them. One by one, they agree to help. The kidnapping of Candace becomes the spark that brings everyone back together. Once assembled, Connor goes through the plan again. They map out their approach, prepare weapons, run through possible scenarios, and mentally steel themselves for what's ahead. Even though they're rusty, the team quickly falls back into their old rhythm. They know this kind of work. They know each other, and they know what's at stake if they fail. With Pettis' deadline approaching, the team launches their operation at a lively party run by a rival group. They take control fast, pinning Danny, the man in charge, against the wall. Under threat, Danny gives up everything. The location of stashed drugs, hidden money, and the exact details Pettis wants destroyed. The team heads out immediately, wipes out the narcotics, and takes the cash. To erase all evidence of their involvement, they burn their getaway car. But trouble spreads faster than fire. Word of the raid reaches Chief Alustin almost instantly. He starts piecing things together and suspects Pettis might be behind it. He goes straight to Danny for answers. But the more Danny explains, the more nervous and unsettled Alustin becomes, realizing things might be spiraling completely out of his control. Alustin starts putting pieces together and realizes something terrifying. If the truth about the raid comes out, it won't just expose Pettis. It will expose him too. His quiet partnership with the drug operation, his backdoor deals, everything. That thought shakes him. Instead of trying to fix the mess the legal way, Alustin panics and makes the worst choice possible. He kills Danny with his own hands, silencing the one person who could point the police directly toward him. The lie is cleaner if the witness doesn't exist. To everyone else, Danny just disappears from the story, but to Alustin, it's one more secret weighing on his conscience. Even after the murder, Alustin still isn't sure whether Pettis ordered the raid or not. He calls Pettis with a fake friendly but not really friendly tone, practically wrapped in threats. Pettis, though, plays it cool and denies everything. Inside, he already knows exactly who pulled off the raid, Mason's team, but he keeps that information tucked away like a loaded bullet he might use later. Meanwhile, Mason's crew meets up again to count the cash they grabbed. Their whole mission depends on one thing: getting enough money to trade for Candace's freedom. But when they finish tallying the bills, the amount is short. Not by a little, by enough to completely ruin the deal. Panic creeps into the room. Connor, refusing to accept defeat, offers up the drugs they seized during the raid as a substitute. It's risky, stupid even, but it's the only shot they've got. The team discusses their next move and decides that only Connor and Timmy should go into Pettis territory for the exchange. The others will keep close enough for backup, just in case things fall apart. And they know things usually do fall apart around Pettis. Across the city, the police department scrambles to understand who destroyed the stash of illegal goods during the mysterious raid. They agree that questioning Danny should be their next step. But before anyone gets the chance, Alustin slips in with a shocking update. He claims Danny overdosed. Dead. Case closed. No interrogation. No witnesses. Officers buy it first, but one detective, someone who's already suspicious of Alustin's ties to the drug trade, senses something off. The timing is too perfect. The death is too convenient. And the smell of corruption hangs in the air like a storm waiting to break. Back at Pettis' hideout, Candace spots her moment. Pettis steps out of the room for a second, and she uses the opportunity to slip her hands free. She runs, desperate to escape, but a guard catches her before she even reaches the exit. Her attempt fails, and Pettis' men double down on security, treating her like she's carrying state secrets instead of an unborn child. While driving toward Pettis' base, Timmy suddenly asks Connor to stop at a gas station. Connor thinks nothing of it until he finds Timmy in the restroom hiding a syringe. That's when the truth bursts out. Timmy hasn't just been struggling mentally, he's been drowning in addiction the whole time. Ever since the school mission went so horribly wrong, he's been injecting himself to numb the guilt. He's been fighting a war with himself long before this mission began. At the same time, Mason tries to reinforce their plan by calling in Dwayne and Ship. Dwayne instantly agrees to help. He's loyal to the bone. Ship wants to come too, but his wife begs him to stay home. She's terrified of losing him, and Ship hesitates, but the guilt of leaving his brothers behind is written all over him. Connor and Timmy finally reach Pettis' headquarters, carrying the money like it's their last lifeline. Pettis takes the cash and demands every dollar be counted. When the total falls short, he looks ready to cancel the deal entirely. Connor quickly steps in and offers the drugs they collected to make up the difference. Pettis pauses, thinks, and reluctantly accepts. He orders his men to bring Candace forward. She's alive, shaking, but unharmed. And for the first time, Connor sees a sliver of hope. But then everything collapses. Out of nowhere, Pettis drops a truth bomb that hits harder than gunfire. Timmy has been feeding him information from day one. The room freezes. Connor looks at Timmy like he doesn't recognize him. Timmy breaks down and confesses everything. The addiction, the debt, the manipulations, the guilt. He admits that during the failed school rescue mission, he accidentally shot a beloved teacher, someone Pettis personally respected. That mistake ignited Pettis' hatred for him. Pettis wanted revenge, but instead of killing Timmy, he used him as a pawn, squeezing him through his growing drug dependency. Big O loses it and almost kills Timmy on the spot. The argument between Pettis and Big O becomes so heated that they forget that two trained operatives, Connor and Timmy, are within arm's reach. Connor seizes the moment, signaling Timmy. They attack without hesitation. Gunfire erupts like fireworks in a war zone. The brothers take down multiple guards, fighting their way out of the base. Pettis retaliates fiercely, but they push forward and break into the open. Before Pettis' men can regroup, Mason and Dwayne storm in, having just taken out the outside guard. They join the three-way firefight, and the chaos gets louder, faster, deadlier. Together, they chase Pettis until he runs out of places to escape. Cornered and exhausted, Pettis raises his hands. But instead of begging, he unleashes another secret. Chief Ultimatum has been laundering drug money for him every 6 months. And the next transfer? Happening that same morning. Pettis says he's tired of being a puppet and offers to help them steal the money and disappear forever. Mason's team huddles together. Refusing seems stupid. Accepting seems suicidal. But they need the money, and Pettis knows the system inside out. After a tense discussion, they agree. Candace steps forward with her own solution. She calls her cousin, who specializes in forging fake identities. New names, new paperwork, new lives. Everything is lining up for one final showdown. The next morning, the team gears up and moves out for what becomes their most dangerous mission yet. Ultimatum and his officers are already at the bank, ready to receive the laundered funds. When Mason's team arrives, bullets start flying instantly. A full-blown gunfight breaks out between cops and soldiers who have nothing left to lose. In the chaos, Dwayne is hit. The wound is fatal. He dies right where he falls. The team feels the loss like a punch to the gut, but the mission has no pause button. They push forward. Inside the bank, Connor sticks with Timmy, while Mason ends up paired with Pettis. Ammunition runs out fast as SWAT teams storm every corner. Then the worst moment hits. Timmy spots a sniper taking aim at Connor. Without thinking, he throws himself in the path of the bullet. The shot hits him directly. Timmy collapses in Connor's arms. For all his flaws, all his mistakes, he gave his life to save his brother. The grief crushes Connor instantly. Mason hears the news through the comms and lowers his gun in disbelief. For a second, the whole mission feels doomed. Then, suddenly, gunfire bursts from a new direction. Officers drop as Ship charges in, guns blazing. He ignored his wife's plea and came anyway. And he arrives at the exact second they need him. His entrance shifts the fight completely, giving the team the window they need. They escape the bank with Ship leading the way to a getaway car he parked earlier. But just when daylight appears at the end of the tunnel, tragedy strikes again. Ship is shot down moments after saving them. The team loses another brother within minutes. Back at the scene, Ultimatum loses complete control. Enraged and terrified of being exposed, he shoots one of his own officers in front of civilians. Phones record everything. The footage spreads like wildfire. Meanwhile, Connor, Candace, and Pettis race toward the airport. Police sirens scream behind them. Mason realizes they won't all make it. He orders Connor to stop the car. He gives him the secret boarding code. His son's name, Jeremy. Mason then turns around, walking straight toward the police with his weapon ready. He sacrifices himself to stall the officers long enough for Connor, Candace, and Pettis to escape. They make it onto the private plane and disappear into the sky. 7 months later, the surviving trio lives quietly in Mexico. Connor and Candace welcome their baby, finally tasting peace after endless tragedy. Pettis, oddly enough, stays with them, determined to build a better life instead of going back to crime. Some of the stolen money goes to Ship's widow, honoring his sacrifice. They also send anonymous donations to the families of the school victims, a small step toward healing old wounds. Back in their city, justice finally hits its target. The video of Chief Ultimatum shooting his own officer triggers protests, investigations, and ultimately his arrest. When detectives dig deeper, the full extent of Ultimatum's corruption erupts into daylight. Every dirty deal, every lie, every betrayal exposed. After years of poisoning the system, he finally faces consequences. The city breathes again, and that concludes the story. If you enjoyed the recap, make sure to subscribe for more. See you in the next one. Take care.